Hello kids, good evening. I hope you are all doing well and I am hoping that you are regularly reading your current affairs discussion. So now in today's session, what are we going to discuss? We have two major news to discuss and these are very important in terms of understanding the current legislations in the country, your data in general and India's relation with its neighbor. So let's get into it. The first news that you can see on your screen is what is the digital DG locker and does it keep your data safe and documents safe as well? Now why are we discussing this? I'll give you a quick understanding. So in my applications itself, yesterday I got a notification stating that check your 12th results on DG Locker, and luckily I could get this news as well. Now why are we trying to talk about this? Basically this platform that has been launched in the year 2015, it operates as an app to the store's users digital records. Now what are these digital records? Basically all your information, extremely important information. It can be your driving details, it can be your Aadhaar, it can be your PAN card, it can be your passport, it can be your educational qualification. In fact, it can be adding up your diplomas, your health cards, your insurance policies, all of the informations in the idea that everything is digitized and available in one click. All of these things is there in like a locker. Okay, so this is like a locker which is there in the form of a cloud and it is there with you in your phone or in any of the applications. So as of early May, we could see that the app has over 270 million registered users, while nearly 6.7 billion documents have been retrieved through it. Okay, so almost 6.7 billion documents of every citizen of India's total document, about 6.7 billion, is there on this platform. The app is a part of India's or basically Indian government's paper-free initiative. Now that was aimed at letting users access, verify and store essential documents in a digital wallet so they are easy to retrieve and present to the officials when required. Now this is something that I just mentioned some time back. And why does this help here? A lot of platforms, even if you're not carrying these things and if you show it to the officials via these DigiLocker platforms, they are accepted. Okay, so that is also a matter of question, is at every government official website or government official platforms, it can be offices, do you really need to carry physical copy? So that is also one of the questions that I want to ask you, but at the same time in your research also you must study about it. Moving ahead, what are we seeing? As per the website, what are we seeing? The issued documents in DigiLocker system are deemed to be at par with the original physical documents as per Rule 9A of the IT preservation and retentions of information by intermediaries that provide DigiLocker facilities, and these are the rules of 2016 that have been notified on the 8th of February. Okay, moving ahead, what are we seeing? To verify the basically the verifying officials, this helps in keeping at bay the fake, poor quality print documents or copies and outdated documents that miss the key details. So all of these things can be retrieved and be available on this DigiLocker platform. Moving ahead, what are we seeing? Basically, as I told you some time back, it is a flagship initiative by the Ministries of Electronics and IT under the Digital India program. On June the 2020th, what are we saying? That it posted a notice about a potential vulnerability in the sign-up flow that could have led to accounts being compromised. Why is this important? Because you need to know, is your data really safe? So data protection bill also comes into picture, and I would want you to study about that as well. And understanding right to privacy. So why is right to privacy important? Because to understand about your private, basically understanding, is right to privacy a fundamental right, yes or no, and if that is there, then the judgments, the important judgments with regards to that as well. So privacy plays an important role, and data protection bill or data protection altogether also plays a very important role. Similarly, as per the Google Play Stores, what we are seeing is there is no DigiLocker data that is shared with the third parties, and this data is encrypted in transit. Okay, so of course there are certain examples of data that include files and documents, your name optional, which is optional, and your email address and other user IDs. All of these things are optional in nature. but these things are then not transferred or given to the third party, is what the Google also claims. So you must study about all of these things while you are going through this discussion, while you're going through this article in the Hindu. Coming to the last part of this, what are we saying? With a neighbor like China, we have to learn to compete. What is this discussion? Boosting India's domestic manufacturing and the overall economy will provide much more resources in its foreign policy toolkit to expand the country's influence globally and compete with China on the economic front. This was mentioned by our external affairs ministers, that is S. Jaishankar. Now, what did he suggest? He suggests that the lack of focus in the past of the manufacturing sector is actually linked to the upward trajectory of the India-China trade, notwithstanding New Delhi's approach that normalizes of ties with Beijing is dependent on the resolution of the eastern Ladakh border row. You must try to understand these things and only then try to read about our neighbor as well. I have a question for you all. The 𝐸𝐞𝐚𝐝 crisis resulted in the confrontation between whom? Okay, now why is this important again is because we are trying to study about these things, and these questions will help you understand not only the current affairs but also the history that is attached to our relations with our neighbors. Now, of course, at the last, S. Jaishankar, that is our external affairs minister, also mentioned this thing that we need to be confident, and he says this thing that I'm clear that international politics, international relations are competitive. I have neighbor like China and I must learn how to compete. Lastly, requesting you all to not only like, share and subscribe to the video, but drop in the comment section, and we'll see you all in the next video. Till then, bye bye.